Welcome to Dreamland, where your dreams come true. In my dream last night, I remember being at work, but the dynamics of the job was not like it was in my real life. The place of work, I have no idea where I was at in real life is different. But in dreamland, I don't know where I was. I just think I was at my job. The feeling that I had in that dream was, okay, I'm at work right now. So I ran across one of my coworkers who I knew in real life. Her name is Willie Mae. She was sitting in a hole, but it was not a deep hole. I could see her head sticking out. It was a hole in the floor, a hole in the ground. Her head was sticking out, which is weird. It's hard to explain. But I didn't think nothing of it because this is dreamland and everything is weird, you know. So I said to her, I said, well, it's almost your birthday, Willie Mae. And Willie Mae, who usually have this strange attitude, you know, sometimes she's nice, sometimes she's mean. You never know what you're going to get with Willie Mae. Willie Mae said, yep, it's almost my birthday. I said, well, I bet you know how to cook too, right? You're probably going to cook some good food for your birthday. And she said, uh-huh. That's what she said. She said, uh-huh. I guess she wasn't too talkative in this dream. So I left the job, and I believe I was going to walk from that particular building to another building, you know? I felt like I was still on the clock, but I was leaving one building, on my way to another. I think I might have been doing some patrols, I guess you could say. And I ran across another coworker who I knew in real life. As I was walking, I seen him somewhat in the distance. I waved at him. And I know he seen me. His name is Ephraim. I know he seen me, but he ignored me. This is something that I don't like when people do in real life. This is something that deserves a rant in a separate video. But he ignored me. And he walked by. First, he was in the distance in front of me. I seen him in the distance, so I waved. And then he was getting closer to me. I stopped waving at him because I knew he was ignoring me. And he walked past me. So now he's behind me. And then I turned back at him and looked at him because I was angry. Then he turned back at me and looked at me. And then he said, oh, wow, I didn't even notice you. And then he waved and then he just, you know what? I ain't say nothing at that point. I just kept on walking. And I was angry. But that part of the dream ended. And then I entered another dream. And I feel like in this other dream, I wasn't even who I am. Meaning, I wasn't even Amin Parker. I was not myself. I must have been someone else, because sometimes that happens in dreams. You're not yourself. You're just someone else. Well, I was sitting at this table in this house, which I think might have been a cabin, actually. Now, I was sitting at this table, and 4 other people was sitting at the table. And everyone was Hakujin. Well, it was 4 other people, and I think I might have been Hakujin. But I know I was a Kodomo at this point. And I think I was a Onanoko. Yep. So I was a very young girl. I think I might have been about between the age of, between the age of 4 years old to probably around 9. Okay. Now, I was a young girl for some reason in this part of the dream. Sitting at a table with 4 Hakujin. I think 2 of them was men and 2 of them was women. But I know that 2 of them was men, and I believe 2 of them was women. So I kept on saying to one of the guys that I was closer to, sitting next to, I said, "You are handsome. You will make a good husband to," and I was pointing to one of the girls. And then he just didn't even say anything. He looked like he was getting annoyed. And then I tried to be smart, witty, and funny because he wasn't saying anything. So I said, "Well, you know what? You will probably make a real good husband to him." I pointed to the man. And he got angry, but he didn't say anything, but he made a face. And to me, in my mind, he looked just like Abraham Lincoln. Yes, he looked just like Abraham Lincoln. And if I'm not mistaken, this dream was in black and white. I'm remembering in my mind, this part of the dream was in black and white. So it felt like it was back in the 30s. Around sometime, I would say 1939 or whatever. In that time frame, that's what this dream resembled, this part of the dream. But he was getting annoyed with me when I said that. And I said it on purpose to piss him off. But lo and behold, this part of the dream ended too, which reinforces the thought that a lot of dreams make no sense. And a lot of dreams is very short. But I think when the dream is actually taking place, it's much longer. But I can't remember the full scope of the dream, except for certain vital parts. And that part was vital. To me, it was. Because I was a little girl. That's not me. So, and I was sitting next to Abraham Lincoln, or someone who resembled him. Basically, these 2 dreams that I mentioned, I feel like I was being ignored in some way, shape, or form. Whether that was from a previous coworker named Ephraim, or a previous coworker named Willie Mae, or this Abraham Lincoln looking dude. But anyway, that ends that dream. And that's it. That's all I have for now.